Here's a recipe for a pizza bread that I get asked about all the time. I hand the recipe out all the time. People are always intimidated because they think it's gonna be tough to make, but I'm gonna show you that it's super simple to make and very quick. So yeah, this is the pizza bread recipe that I was talking about. It's the same dough as you'd use for pizza, but you can make pizza bread with it like we did here with pepperoni and cheese and garlic. You can make pizza frit, is where you get pieces of pizza dough and you put it in hot oil and you basically fry it and then you put powdered sugar on it. It's like the New York State Fair. Pizza bread. First thing you gotta do is get a scale and zero it out with whatever you're gonna be taking, holding the water. The best thing to do is just let the faucet run until you get some warm water touching your wrist. And if it feels warm to your wrist, you're solid. So you want to measure out 10 ounces of water for every pound of flour. All right, so once you have your 10 ounces of warm water, you get 1 tablespoon of sugar and you put it in. Then 1 tablespoon of quick rise yeast. Then you mix these together and just let that bloom. And hopefully, if everything went well, all that stuff will just get bloomy. So everything blooms, you basically cover it and you set that off to the side for about 5-10 minutes until all the yeast pops up. So you want to use relatively fresh yeast, and if you keep yeast, keep it in the fridge or it will go bad and you won't have any blooms. But we'll still eat the flatbread anyways in pizza form. So we let this sit for about 5 minutes and it's kind of frothy. It's called blooming, but we're done with that for now. We'll put that over here. Next thing we got to do is we have to weigh out a pound of flour. So you put this on the scale, turn it on, zero it out, and then we have to add a pound of flour, which is just regular unbleached flour. And then after you do that, you have to add 1/4 teaspoon of regular salt. So after you weigh out your pound of flour and your 1/4 teaspoon of salt, you bring over the mixer and you put the bowl in there. You can do this by hand if you're brave. I've never been brave enough. I just went and spent the money and bought a KitchenAid mixer. You want the dough to be a little bit wet, and that makes the best pizza. And if it's too dry, no good. Almost sticky where it sticks to your hand and it's like it's uncomfortable to work with, but that's the best way to have this. So what we want to do is bring up the bowl, lock it in place, put this on about number 2, and add about half that liquid, and give that a second to kind of get around. You want to add a little bit more, and it's always okay to add a little bit more water if you need, but we try not to. And this is looking like it might be a hair dry, so I'm going to add just a hair more water. All right, and you let this go for about 10 minutes, easy 10 minutes. And we'll come back and check it out in a couple minutes. Yahoo! So this looks pretty good. The consistency we want, it's kind of sticky, where it's not really a nice dry ball, and it's kind of mushy. This is exactly what we want. It's just kind of sticking to my hand like that. That's how you know you're gonna have some good pizza. It's gonna be nice and crispy. So you take your dough hook off, and you take this guy off, and get this out of the way. So this is what you're looking for. It's kind of moist, and what you're going to want to do is put a little flour out on your table. Get your hand, a little flour on your hands like that, and just peel this out onto the table. Now, since we're making the bread today, we're going to want to let this rise. But how you let this rise is you make a ball first, a dough ball. All right, and how you do that, like this is like super silky soft. Like this is this is going to be amazing. Like I'm super excited about how this turned out. So how you make a dough ball is turn your fingers in, turn your fingers in, turn it, and you keep doing this until you get this nice ball. And this is what you want to be able to put in your proofing pan. So the proofing pan is, I got these at a restaurant supply. They're amazing. So what you do is you just spray it. You can either rub oil in here, olive oil. I just use some spray canola oil because it's easier. Go like that. You take your ball, your whole 1 pound flour ball, drop it in there. You spray the bottom of this because it's going to get puffy. And you let that sit for about 10 to 20 minutes till it puffs up. As you can see, this is completely risen. This was definitely half the size it was before. So what we got to do now is put that in the sink. And then we need to get some flour and flour up the counter because it will stick because it's a wet dough. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to spread it out, pound it down, and fill it up with all the pizza guts that we want. So super. So that's exactly what we want it right there. So we're gonna get this, a little more flour in our hand here. Kind of flatten it out because this is what we're gonna want to put our bread on. Oof. You want it to be you want it to be all kind of the same thickness, because if not, you're gonna have like doughy parts you don't really want. So, all right, first thing I do is you garlic the living Jesus out of it. Garlic, 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 garlic. Then we cheese it up, and everybody likes cheese. I don't know how much cheese it is. I didn't measure it, but probably should have. I'm gonna throw some of these pepperonis at the camera because it's fun. And you basically just pepperoni pizza this whole thing up. Can you speed this up later, like in the? This will be a lot of fun. So I'm just putting a little bit of salt on there, just because. Then this is the pain in the butt part. Gotta roll it up, and everything's kind of sticky. The dough is perfect, very sticky. Now we need to get a big cookie sheet. We gotta spray the big cookie sheet. And then we gotta somehow get that onto the cookie sheet. This is where it becomes a lot less fun. There we go. Big cookie sheet. Now, what you do here is you gotta let it sit for another 10-15 minutes because you want this to rise up a little bit. All right, we've let this sit for about 20 minutes. It's risen a bit. It's about as much as you're gonna get. Now we're gonna take this and put it in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350. All right, while we're waiting, we're gonna get the eggs ready to put on brush at the 30-minute mark. Two eggs is plenty. You'll be throwing most of this out anyways. And you probably don't want the shell in there. So just grab a fork, mix it up. Let's go. That smells so good. It's been cooking for 28 minutes. Close enough. Nick and I are hungry. So basically, now this is all, it's pretty much cooked. We're just basically putting this on here to give it a crust, a golden brown crust. Some people just use the whites, but I like just doing the whole egg. I think it's better. And this is it. It's gonna be pretty tasty, I'm pretty sure. So we got this basted in the egg yolks. Now we're going to put it back in the oven for about another 10 minutes or so.
Let's go.
Oh, she looks healthy. Let's get into this. All right. Ta-da! So we're gonna let this cool for 10 minutes. So when you cut it, all the cheese don't melt all over the place. How I do this normally is I cut it in half so it's more manageable. And you can kind of see what it looks like right there. Basically drop cuts like this, like pieces of bread. It's still steaming pretty good, but we'll have to see what people think. But right now, it looks pretty good. That's it, guys. This is as simple as that. I hope to be back with another recipe pretty soon, either for pizza or Utica greens or anything brajol. I think brajol I might do next. That one makes me super hungry. So, all right. Thank you. Have a great day.